Hello and welcome to another simulation session, and in this session we will be doing simulation at 11x. And first of all we need to move any random date. I want to, yeah, I will be live a simulation for this Monday starting from 1300 hours. Yeah, we are now at 1300 hours. We need to look at price action today. And starting from monthly, the monthly there is a huge rejection from the downside, from the upside, and today is actually 21st of March. And in the first 21 days of this month we moved up, and then we moved down by creating a rejection of 1500 pips, or 50 or a wick of 1500 pips in monthly time frame, which essentially means that there may be a resistance but that will be of no use. The reason being it is 1500 pips away, so we will look at smaller time frame. In weekly, if I look at, we are creating a resistance, and the previous weekly candle closed bearish, but it is still closed bullish, still closed above this support zone, which essentially means that the current weekly candle can move in this 1000 pips of move from 1986 till 1886. Price can essentially move in this range for the entire week, but we will be looking at more confirmations in smaller time frame. If I look at daily, in daily we are creating a resistance and a support. So the support is at 1911 area and resistance is at 1947 area. If we break below this support level at 1915, we can potentially fill this wick, which is around 200 pips away. And on the other hand, if we break above this area, we can continue to push up, potentially fill this entire range. And if I look at weekly and daily time frame, the trend is bearish, so we will keep that in mind. And if I look at 4-hour time frame, in 4 hour there is lot of consolidation. So today I am expecting prices to move in ranges. I am not expecting a breakout volume, and even if I get some breakout in the execution, I will be very careful about that. So let's start. Now our balance is 1700 US dollars. So we will look at the end how much we gained and lost. So we will start the simulation, and now I am just looking how the prices will. Now we are breaking above previous H1 candle high. We got rejected, which essentially means that there is nothing in here right now. We are waiting if to see if we can break above this resistance for buys, and break below that support for sells. Other than that, we are just waiting. Although prices is moving up, but we want better execution and we want better entry. So waiting just makes much more sense in here, and I am not expecting lot of action today. I am just anticipating ranges today, but anything can happen and we will act accordingly. All right. At this point, if I look at M30 candle closed bearish, M15 also closed bearish, and H1 candle has broken above all the support area, all the resistance areas to left and close back inside the range. So there is very high probability for prices to push down in this 62 pips of range. So what I will do, I will execute one sells in here, and if prices came back somewhere around 1927 area, I will execute another sell for prices to keep pushing down. Other than that, I will just wait. Now although we are moving down, but we are approaching this support zone at 1921 area, so prices may reject from here. So there is nothing that we can do at this point, we just need to wait. Now if I look at H1 time frame, I was anticipating that H1 has created a breakout above that area and now moving down. So there was very high probability that H1 can continue to push down. But the way H1 candle has retested the lower lows, it may seem like we can push up, and H1 candle has also created a retest in H4 time frame. So that is a little bit concerning now. So I wasn't anticipating prices to create a lower wick, which is around 30 pips away and close like that. So you know what, I will close 70% of my position because at this point I don't know what is going to happen next, and I will execute later on. You know what, I will execute a position, but my stop loss on this trade is this week. I am not anticipating prices to break above this area if we are to move down. Other than that, we will just wait. The previous M5 candle closed bullish, so that those sells doesn't make any sense now. So you know what? Delete everything and we will just wait now. Now at this point, if I look at previous M30 candle closed bearish, the first M15 candle closed bullish, and there is a resistance at M5. Now it makes sense to execute sell by placing a 13 pips of stop. Now we are just waiting for candles to close. Alright, M5 candle again closed bearish, bullish, but still we need to wait for 2 minutes. Alright, at this point we need to look at more information. Now there is nothing clear at this point. There is no uh, trend at this point. We are just consolidating, and in this consolidation, buys from the lower of buys from bottom of range and sells from top of range to make sense. So we are somewhere in middle. I will just exit this trade because it doesn't make any sense for now, and we are already down around 19 US dollars today. Just patience, and I fast forwarded this M30 candle because I believe that today is consolidation day, so I don't know if I will ever get to execute a position. So we will just waiting for some breakout or some volume. If that come, all right. The previous four H4 H1 candles are closing side by side, although they uh, they have moved around 60 pips on the candles, but they are still closing side by side. So if I look at news, there is Fed Chair Powell speaks at 19:30. Other than that, there is no news. So you know what? We will just wait, and yeah, we can't execute a position right now. All right, we have approached 1500 hours, and at this point I do believe that there is high volume, but still I can't execute a position because I can't see any pattern in here. So I am just waiting to see if I can get some pattern to execute on. All right, this is Comet Comics one right now. So the previous M15 closed bearish. There is nothing, although I do anticipate we can continue to push down, but I will not execute a position. And yeah, I will just wait. Yeah, we have broken below that M1 area. We can continue to push down, but there is still nothing, no position for me. Now I will just fast forward a little bit because today there is a lot of consolidation and we just need to wait. All right. If I look in here, there is nothing that I can see, and M15 candle closed right in here. Yeah, at this point, if take above this M5 area, considering we have done a fake out before that, I do believe that we can push in this 20 pips of range, but I need to lower my lot size All right, wait a second. Once we break above this area, I want to execute buy, which is around the way. Yeah, and this is my stop loss for this trade, which is around 22 pips. Anticipating prices to in this 20 pips of range. If that happens, other than that, alright, M5 candle has closed a bearish candle, but I will wait for 10 minutes, 10 more minutes in this trade. Actually, this buy trade doesn't make any sense. The reason being, previous M30 candle closed bearish, so I am executing buys. And the accurate trade will be this sell stop if we break below that area. So I will be closing that by order and I will stick to sells. Alright, right now, if I look at M30 closed bullish, now even this sell is invalid. So I have seen that usually my patterns work a lot, but whenever I will execute on them in consolidation, I will always lose. So I lost 50 US dollars today because I didn't follow my trading plan. Now I am just waiting for prices to break out of this consolidation, else I will just close everything. Alright, M30 candle has closed bearish. There is a lot of rejection, like 30 pips of rejection, and we have essentially touched that area. H4 closed bullish, and we have broken below that lows. So as we know that today is consolidation day, so maybe this whole area is so maybe we have rejected from this area and we will never test that again. Also, if I look at M30, those buys that I executed after that, we got an excellent execution for sell, which is like 60 pips of sell. But I just moved on and closed everything. Yeah, that was amazing, amazing sells. Now we will just wait for a few more minutes. All right, right in now, if I can see that this is 100 pips of move, but there is nothing for me to execute on this trade. There is nothing. So back. All right, the H1 candle has closed. This is like 120 pips of move. So maybe there is some volume left for prices to take above this area and continue up, but I am not interested in taking that trade. Now the H1 candle has closed, and if we some sort of retest, we can execute a buy. Other than that, I am not interested in buys. Yeah, that was a buy trade, but that was way difficult for me to capture because we were consolidating. So my mindset at that time was way focused towards consolidation. So when we broke out, I was unable to execute on this trade. But also remember that it very risky and very difficult to execute on. So move forward and Yeah. Now if I look at H1 candle has also closed bullish, but M30 candle is bearish, M15 is also bearish. So maybe if we break below this support at 1932, we can push down in this 40 pips of range. I am just looking for that. All right. If I look at right in here and I execute sell by placing a stop loss of 25 pips, I do anticipate that we can move in this 62 pips of range. But the issue in here is that H1 candle is bullish, so it will not be wise to execute on this trade setup. If the H1 candle has bullish, then if there are some certain scenarios where this sell trade do make sense, but today is not that day. So I will just be waiting. All right. If I look at M15 candle has closed bullish and the previous M30 candle close. Yeah, now if we break below this area below previous M5 candle wick, I want to execute sells. This is my initial stop loss 16 pips away, and this is my final stop loss 32 pips away. And planning this for this 50 pips of range till 1929. Also remember that if the M30 candle closed bullish, then this trade setup will be invalid. All right. If now I look at the M30 candle has closed bullish, but the previous M30 candle has bearish. So essentially that means either we are creating a support for prices to keep pushing up, but as we already knew that in H4, if I look at there is a small volume and we already moved 120 pips. So I do believe that there isn't enough volume for prices to keep pushing up, so that's why I executed this sell, and I will just stick with my initial plan, because if we are to move down, I am not anticipating prices to break above this M30 high. So if we break above that M30 high, that is where I will take my stop loss, which is around 50 pips away, 15 pips away, and we will just call it a day. Alright, waiting for M15 candle to close. M15 candle has closed, but there isn't enough information. And M30, it seems like we are again consolidating. So I will be waiting for few more minutes. If we break above M30 candle high, there is high probability for prices to break above that high. So yeah, right in here I closed everything. So today was a very bad day. I lost around 50 US dollars today. Took some bad executions, and when a better sell trade appeared, I my mind didn't recognize that sell, and I fast forwarded those candles. So in future I will make sure that I will be doing simulation at 11x speed without doing fast forward, and we will be more focused. And yeah, that's it for today, and I will see soon.